Meet John, the quintessential weekend warrior, spending his precious Saturday afternoons fighting an endless, physically exhausting battle against the very nature in his own backyard. He pulls weeds, sprays chemicals, and waters manicured rows, yet his traditional garden remains locked in a constant state of dehydration and biological stress. The brutal truth is that a conventional garden setup loses anywhere from 50 to 70% of its precious moisture purely to surface evaporation. Now, step across the property line into a permaculture food forest, where a lush, multi-layered canopy shades a landscape exploding with absolute biological abundance. Here, the soil is completely hidden beneath a thick, living carpet, holding on to a staggering 90% of its moisture, even in the blistering heat. This is the fundamental difference between managing a fragile biological factory on life support and stewarding a thriving, self-sustaining ecosystem that works entirely for you. The reason the weekend warrior is losing this battle comes down to a harsh ecological rule. Nature completely and utterly abhors a vacuum. When we clear-cut a space and leave the earth exposed, nature registers that bare, unprotected soil as an open wound that must be urgently healed. Those relentless weeds John pulls every weekend aren't malicious invaders. In many ecosystems, they are nature's first responders, dispatched to cover the soil and stop the ecological bleeding. By constantly ripping them out and leaving the dirt bare again, we trap ourselves in a vicious cycle, fighting a relentless war against nature itself. Every isolated fruit tree planted in a barren lawn becomes a highly dependent patient, relying entirely on human intervention for water, nutrients, and basic protection. This endless cycle of weeding, feeding, and watering is the exact recipe for gardener burnout, causing so many passionate people to surrender after just one season. The more space you arbitrarily clear and the more control you try to force, the harder the natural world pushes back to reclaim its rightful balance. We are trying to impose a sterile, fragmented grid onto a deeply interconnected biological web, and the sheer physical effort of maintaining that illusion is exhausting. To break free from this burnout, we have to unlock a hidden ecological principle known as accelerated succession, essentially learning how to speed up ecological time. Normally, it might take a wild forest 50 years to regenerate from bare dirt, but by mimicking nature's blueprint, we can establish the structure of a young food forest in as little as 3 years under favorable conditions. The secret lies in recruiting unusual characters known as pioneer plants, fast-growing species specifically chosen for their ability to generate massive amounts of rapid organic matter. Trees like moringa and ice cream bean act as biological engines, dropping heavy leaf litter that instantly begins rebuilding the damaged soil architecture far below. These pioneers do the heavy lifting, repairing the earth so the more delicate, long-term fruit trees can establish their roots in a thriving, nutrient-dense environment. But nature doesn't just leave empty gaps in physical space. It leaves profound gaps in time. And if you don't intentionally fill them, the ecosystem certainly will. While your primary grapefruit and pomegranate trees are still vulnerable toddlers, there is an abundance of empty sunlight and soil space just waiting to be claimed. We intentionally fill those temporal gaps with fast-growing ground covers like sweet potatoes, pumpkins, and specialized cover crops that blanket the earth almost immediately. These temporary residents act as crucial placeholders, protecting the vulnerable soil and crowding out unwanted weeds, while the primary fruit canopy slowly matures directly above them. Eventually, we will proudly sacrifice these gap fillers, allowing their decaying roots and heavy vines to feed the very fruit trees that will ultimately take their place. This isn't just gardening. This is orchestrating a masterclass in temporal geometry, designing a living system that seamlessly hands the baton from one generation to the next. To achieve this incredible level of design, our greatest teacher is the natural forest, a wildly complex system functioning perfectly without any human intervention whatsoever. A true forest doesn't grow in flat, linear rows. It stacks life vertically across 7 distinct layers, from the towering overstory canopy down to the deep rhizosphere. By intentionally organizing our edible plants into these naturally stacked layers, a single square meter can miraculously produce up to 4 times the calories of a traditional garden. We also carefully harness the ancient wisdom of the edge effect, realizing that the boundary between 2 distinct ecosystems is always the most explosive zone of life. Where the dense forest strip meets the open vegetable garden, we create an incredibly productive ecotone, capturing the rich nutrients of the woods and the brilliant full sun. This specialized boundary matrix allows us to grow demanding crops that require both intense natural fertility and bright light, maximizing our total harvest without any extra fertilizer. The mechanics of this permanent wealth rely on integrating intelligent biology with analogical science, starting with the strategic use of thermal mass as structural heat batteries. A simple concrete block wall absorbs intense solar radiation all day, storing that thermal energy and slowly radiating it back into the freezing soil throughout the cold night. This localized heat battery creates a highly unique microclimate, allowing a gardener in a damp, subtropical zone to perfectly grow dryland Mediterranean figs and heavily fruiting pomegranates. Next, we engineer the soil's inherent fertility by planting specific cover crops side by side, perfectly balancing the chemical ratio of 25 parts carbon to 1 part nitrogen. By growing nitrogen-fixing beans right next to carbon-heavy wheat, we are literally growing a green sheet compost in position, creating deep, living mulch without moving a single wheelbarrow. We then introduce powerful biological accelerators into the system, employing loud flocks of ducks and chickens as highly efficient, mobile composting machines that constantly patrol the grounds. These birds eagerly do the exhausting work for us, scratching organic matter into the topsoil, reducing the weed seed bank, and hunting down destructive pests with absolutely ruthless precision. We carefully control their movement, cycling them through highly specific zones so they constantly tilt the delicate balance of weeds and insects entirely in our ultimate favor. Below the canopy, we brilliantly utilize niche partitioning, an ecological strategy where different predatory species are given specific customized habitats so they act as a 24-hour security team. We build dry, sun-baked rockeries that absorb tremendous heat to attract diurnal lizards, who spend the daylight hours aggressively hunting down herbivorous insects across the vulnerable garden. Right next door, we install small shaded ponds that attract nocturnal frogs, who clock in for the night shift to eagerly predate on the destructive pests that only emerge after dark. This integrated pest management creates a perfectly balanced, self-regulating underground city, eliminating the sheer need for toxic chemical sprays by simply designing highly intelligent predator habitats. As the living system thrives and radically expands, we must actively step in with careful biomechanical adjustments, like the highly specific pruning required in intensely humid subtropical climates. We tightly skirt our citrus trees into perfect ball shapes, lifting heavy branches off the wet ground to strictly prevent soil-borne pathogens from rapidly climbing into the fruit canopy. Conversely, we heavily prune and widely spread the branches of our plum trees, physically tying them down to increase essential internal airflow and stimulate explosive, horizontal floral growth. These calculated biological adjustments yield massive amounts of organic pruning waste, which is immediately chopped and dropped right back onto the active forest floor to feed the hungry soil network. Every single element, from the radiating concrete heat batteries to the nocturnal amphibious frogs, is intricately connected in a brilliant web of mutual benefit that continually reinforces the system's strength. But what exactly happens when this wildly complex, interconnected biological machine finally reaches full maturity, and all these rapidly moving dynamic pieces lock into their permanent, self-sustaining configuration? That critical juncture is known as the maturity pivot, the point where the initial heavy investment of human energy finally begins to yield to the effortless momentum of a thriving ecosystem. Suddenly, the frantic rhythm of the weekend warrior's Saturday shifts from a desperate battle against nature to a slow and rhythmic harvest within a landscape that now essentially manages itself. As the overstory canopy finally knits together, the floor below is plunged into a deep, cool shade that naturally arrests the germination of competitive weeds without a single drop of herbicide. The soil, once a cracked and thirsty wasteland, is now a cool, damp sponge of dark organic richness, protected by a dense living mulch of perennial sweet potatoes and nitrogen-rich clover. Year 5 marks the moment where we stop being the engine of the garden and start being the steering wheel, making small, occasional adjustments while the system powers its own incredible growth. In this state of permanence, the measurable metrics of success undergo a radical departure from conventional agricultural norms, as biodiversity increasingly supports stable yields. Where a traditional yard provides perhaps 2 or 3 seasonal crops, this mature forest architecture offers a continuous, rolling buffet of varied nutrition that flows throughout the year. The physical labor involved in maintaining this abundance has plummeted by over 80%, leaving the gardener with the strange and wonderful task of simply deciding what to eat next. Yet, as the baskets fill with heavy, sun-ripened fruit and the air grows thick with the scent of wild herbs, we realize that the most significant transformation isn't actually happening in the soil. The most profound shift is occurring within the gardener themselves, as the exhausting anxiety of scarcity is slowly replaced by the deep, quiet confidence of absolute biological security. To understand the weight of this change, we have to look past the foliage and into the lived experience of someone like Sarah, who traded her manicured lawn for a productive food forest strip. For years, Sarah's relationship with her backyard was defined by a feeling of constant failure, a never-ending list of chores that left her feeling disconnected and biologically alienated. She spent hundreds of dollars on synthetic fertilizers and city water bills, only to watch her vegetable patches wither and die under the first intense heat wave of the brutal summer season. The transition began with a single row of pioneer trees and a handful of pumpkin seeds, a small act of trust in the natural principles of succession that eventually bloomed into a total forest. Over 3 seasons, the struggle against the sun transformed into a collaboration with the shade, as Sarah learned to design for the comfort of the plants rather than the aesthetics of the grid. Today, her mornings start not with a spray bottle or a hoe, but with a walk through what she calls her scent corridor, a dense pathway lined with aromatic basil, mint, and jasmine vines. This is the practical application of the biophilia hypothesis, the scientific reality that humans are hardwired to feel a deep sense of calm and safety in the presence of high biodiversity. Scientists call this soft fascination, a state where the gentle complexity of a forest allows our cognitive minds to recover from the crushing overload of digital screens and modern demands. For Sarah, the garden is no longer a place of work, but a sanctuary of attention restoration, where the simple act of pruning a branch becomes a meditative reset for her entire nervous system. Knowing that her yard can provide her family with nutrient-dense food, even if the grocery store shelves go bare, has replaced her former anxiety with a sense of sovereign, unshakable peace. Her story is a microcosm of a much larger shift, as individuals everywhere begin to realize that the traditional suburban landscape is a liability we can no longer afford to maintain anyway. The urgency of this shift becomes undeniable when we look at the mounting pressures of our modern world, where the cost of basic nutrition is rising far faster than most household incomes. Our current food system is a fragile, long-distance miracle that relies on cheap fuel and stable weather, 2 things that are becoming increasingly rare and difficult for us to count on anymore. By turning a silent backyard into a booming food forest, we aren't just growing dinner. We are building a localized fortress of resilience against a backdrop of global economic uncertainty. This isn't about preparing for a dark apocalypse or retreating from society with a mindset of fear, but about choosing a path of proactive adaptability and radical self-reliance instead. When a sudden heat wave or a freak frost hits your region, a traditional garden on life support will often collapse under the strain, leaving nothing but dead stalks and wasted effort behind. But a permaculture system, with its thick thermal mass batteries and deep mulch protection, acts as a biological buffer that remains stable and productive through the most erratic weather events. This is the true meaning of resource autonomy, the ability to generate your own fertility and harvest your own water without needing to rely on a centralized network that may eventually fail. Every tree planted and every pond dug is a deposit into a permanent bank of natural capital that pays dividends in health, security, and tranquility for many decades and generations to come. However, as we sit in the cooling shade of our mature canopy and watch the life around us thrive, we begin to sense that there is a much deeper truth hidden beneath the layers of leaves. We eventually come to realize that this entire process was never actually about the compost, the chickens, or the sophisticated irrigation systems we carefully designed and built along the way. This journey was a masterclass in humility, a gradual unlearning of the arrogant human desire to dominate and control every single square inch of the natural world with our rigid mechanics. We spent decades acting like the bosses or managers of a biological factory, when all nature ever wanted from us was to be a humble partner in its own ancient and wise evolutionary dance. Permaculture is the art of observation over intervention, a practice where a failing plant is no longer seen as a personal mistake, but as a vital piece of feedback from the system itself. The real yield of a food forest isn't measured in kilograms of fruit or cubic meters of mulch, but in the restoration of our original relationship with the rhythms of the earth beneath our feet. It is a shift from a culture of consumption to a culture of stewardship, recognizing that we are not separate from nature, but a highly conscious and creative part of its ongoing survival. By filling our gaps with life instead of concrete, we are participating in a quiet revolution that values the permanence of a thriving ecosystem over the temporary convenience of the lawn. This is the logic of abundance, the understanding that when we take care of the soil and the water, they will unfailingly take care of us and our children for as long as the sun continues to shine. We return to the fence line where our journey first began, looking back at the two worlds that represent the past and the future of how humanity chooses to live upon this living planet. On one side, the weekend warrior continues his exhausting fight, a solitary figure struggling to hold back the tide of nature with chemicals and steel in a battle he was never meant to win. And on the other, a family gathers in the dappled sunlight of their forest, their laughter echoing through a canopy that provides everything they need for a healthy and vibrant life on Earth. Absolute abundance is not a gift that is handed down from above, nor is it a luxury reserved only for those with vast tracts of land or specialized agricultural degrees and expensive tools. It is a dynamic relationship with the living world that works precisely because it respects the fundamental laws of life, growth, and the beautiful necessity of our shared biological connection. Start where you are with whatever you have. Look at the bare soil around you and realize that every empty gap is an invitation to plant a different kind of future, starting right here today. If this vision of a more resilient and abundant way of living speaks to your heart, we invite you to join the conversation in the comments below and share your own journey with the land. To discover more practical ways to transform your own backyard into a thriving haven of food freedom and natural beauty, please subscribe to Perma to Plate and walk this path with us.